Welcome to Season 7 of Paper Talk,
where we share stories about growing and thriving in your creative business.
I'm Quynh Nguyen of Pinkham Hosey.
I'm Jessie Chu of Crafted to Bloom.
And I'm Sarah Kim of Handmade by Sarah Kim.
In this season, we want to explore the evolution of an artist's journey and the growth and struggle of having a business.
Plus, we'll chat with other entrepreneurs and artists to uncover their keys to success.
So get ready to unlock the potential in your creative journey with us.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Paper Talk. This week, I am in the hot seat. And so my question for Jessie and Sarah is, I'm in the process of recording a whole bunch of tutorials, also recording like new videos and things like that. And I'm looking for the next wireless mic or a shotgun mic. And I've looked at all of these different options, and there's so much out there. I've looked on YouTube, reading reviews, but it's so hard because you can't ask the questions that you want to ask. You can only Google it, search for it. And I just want like firsthand opinion. Jessie and Sarah, what mic are you using? Do you love it? Are you looking for a different one? And why?
I also have that problem, so I'm not good at answering it. I've had one and I tried using it and it just, I don't know, it hasn't worked out. I think it's also because everyone's setup is different, right? Our recording setup is different. So just because something works for one person's setup doesn't mean it works for yours. Whether it's because it's not compatible with your technology or I don't know, it just doesn't work. But I know Sarah, with her YouTube channel, her sound's like
amazing.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Tell us your secret, Sarah.
Yeah, I have a shotgun mic and I do have a wireless one. I actually get this from you, Quynh. So I'm the one learning from you, trying to upgrade all my tech stuff. Honestly, sometimes it's so inconvenient, especially the wireless ones. They are really cool, but you have to charge them in advance. You have to make sure that both the receiver and your mic is charged in advance. And every time I want to use it, it's never charged. So I never end up using it. Yeah. I did buy it like last year on a Black Friday deal. So I think if you are looking for one, you should definitely look during the holidays sales.
So what brand are you using? Are you using DJI or using Rode?
Oh, I'm using the Rode one, and I do use a Rode shotgun mic as well. But honestly, my biggest advice would actually just be like quiet room. Quiet and dampen. Actually, I have wooden floors, so there is a little bit of echo that I have to post-edit when I do like ASMR sounds. But I don't do voice usually in my home unless I'm going to do a lot of post-edit. So I would actually do it in the closet.
You know what you could do, really Sarah? Weird. Get a rug, a really thick rug.
I know, but then
put it on the floor.
I don't want paper scraps all over my rug. Then I have to vacuum.
Just shake it off. Just a short one. Just a short one. We take it outside and.
So I'm like a clean freak. I don't like little scraps and.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
No, I have a short one, the ruggable one, the washable ones.
Yes, those are great.
First of all, I think it completes my space. I think look-wise it does. Yeah. But also because when I do spill water or usually it's just something dirty or paint on it, I can quickly wipe it off and it comes off. But it's also really easy to vacuum as well because it's so short. It's like an indoor-outdoor rug. But I think that helps with my recording as well. Because otherwise,
I think so.
I have one wall. Yeah, otherwise it does get echoey. Yeah, but that's also an investment too. And you might not like that. So cushions, right? Bring like that kind of stuff in. Yeah. But no, I think your recordings are great. I don't know, my opinion.
Yeah.
You know,
and how close? Okay, my other question is, when you have your shotgun, how close are you when you're filming? Like, how many feet is it above you when you're doing the shotgun?
For me, it's so close you could even hear me breathe. So I don't like it that close. And then I'm like, when I listen to it, I'm like, oh no, you could hear me like heavy breathing. Oh no, how do I cut that out? Yeah.
I know. I feel the same way when I'm editing this podcast and I can hear people breathing in before they talk. No. I always cut it out. Yeah. So I don't know why that bothers me too. Because I listen to other podcasts and I hear people breathing. It doesn't bother me as much. But when I'm listening to our podcast, I just want to make sure it's clean.
And I think the problem is when you listen to it and you're like, you have your headphones on and that's all you could hear I get bothered by it too. Whereas when you're listening to other people's podcasts, you're probably just on your phone or you're in your car or whatever. You don't
really notice it.
I think it's because you're editing.
Yes, I know. I no grace on that, but I cannot.
No, I'm with you on that. Like when I hear breathing sounds on my ASMR.
Too funny. Yes.
But yeah, I think like high quality sound is so important. Quynh, that when you're doing podcasts, I had to keep adding things to my mic because I was the one who was starting out. I didn't really know. I think when I first recorded with you guys, I just had AirPods on, but then I had to I started with a pretty affordable one, but I know Quynh, you have a pretty expensive one.
Yeah.
But I do think it makes a difference when it comes to sound.
It really does. Yeah. Start out, your AirPods are great, but as soon as you can make a little bit of room to upgrade, I say do it because it will only set you apart from your competitors, the way that you sound, because not only visually, I feel like I've seen so many quality of visual, but the one that really gets me is when they have great audio sound. It just makes me like, I'm like a little deer. Oh, that's a great sound. And so I pay attention to it. And especially if you're doing ASMR, if you're talking a lot, having audio is a key component to set you apart. And that, I think I'm on that track. Like, how can I improve my sound? Because I feel like I have the video down. The iPhone with the latest technology on the video is fantastic. I know, Jesse, you talked about recording all your online courses with your iPhone and not with a DSLR or mirrorless camera, which I have that now. And having a mirrorless camera is a game changer because now not only can you do video, you can do static photos too, which is wonderful. And adding the mic seems the next logical step on making that really cohesive video component that everybody is now wanting these days.
And I feel like if you're doing this for Instagram or TikTok, I think this might be a conspiracy theory. I don't know, but because algorithm is like all over the place. But I think when you don't use music that's on the library, I think it favors you because you have your own. Don't quote me on that because sometimes it could not mean anything. Like you can go viral with a song.
Yeah.
But overall though, like when you are working with brands, they don't want music because of loyalty stuff, right? Like you have to pay for the song or whatever. And to do that, like the contract that I sign, it's pretty complicated. If I feel like there was like a story on a creator, they used a music, but that musician ended up suing the creator for that paid campaign
interesting.
or something like that. So it can get weird. So if you're doing music in the background and it's going to be a partnership, you need to double check the fine lines on what's legal or not.
Yeah.
So that's why I actually started doing ASMR more. And honestly, I think that's what kind of, I don't know, grew my Instagram to begin with because of my conspiracy theory thinking that using your own sound will favor the algorithm, which I don't know if it's true or not, but that's how I felt. And then I do voiceovers now. So if it is boring, if you're just glue doesn't necessarily come out as a lot of sound. So if you're just like doing something that doesn't have sound, I guess you can just do like a voiceover. And if you're doing voiceovers, like that's, I think, crucial to the sound. You don't want it to be like echoey, or you don't want to have like voice that doesn't sound good with your video. So I guess that's when it's important to have a real video. But my biggest thing is I just do it in the closet because my room is echoey. So then like it dampens the voice and I feel like it sounds better in the closet.
Yeah. I have to share something really amazing. So I went to this Kajabi conference and one of the speakers there was Spencer Russell. He's like a major Instagram, TikTok star, and he's amazing. If you're not following him, go follow him. He teaches kids how to read. And it's really interesting the way that he presents his information, but he also analyzed, like he did a deep dive on his analytics, which I absolutely love. And so he told us, like he examined all his different videos and he has like millions of followers. It was so surprising. I want to ask you both, what do you think Instagram favors the most to get your video go viral? Just a thought.
I always thought it was something educational. So not educational, but like when you're learning something. So I thought tutorials do better.
But
I think your followers do. Your followers, depending who your followers are, yeah, they do the tutorials.
Like informational, like it has to have, something I could learn from.
I want to rephrase the question. So just looking at analytics for Instagram, which component in the Instagram do you think that Instagram, once they find that algorithm and they start pushing your video to go viral, which component do you think makes it happen? Is it comments? Is it likes? Is it follows? Is it views? Which one do you think
But
hits
it was
it the most.
shares. Is it
Mm.
not? I don't know.
I think
Shares and
Instagram's
saves.
changing so much that I can't even
know.
say because nobody
think
sees
it's
your
comments.
videos anymore. Nobody
Yeah.
sees your videos
Okay,
anymore.
yes. So, Sarah, you're absolutely correct. This is from ranking from the lowest to the highest. Comments does not matter on Instagram. It blows my mind because you're always about creating that community on there. And
Yeah,
yes, I always comment on everything. I think that's really important. Okay, so comment doesn't matter. Likes do not matter. Bookmark is okay.
The saves.
Is getting there to actually the main component that they really want is how long are people staying and watching your video and how many times are they watching it
Okay.
is the most critical thing.
So it's views.
It is views. Yeah.
I don't know. My comment on that is obviously that doesn't reflect that there's interest. Just because it's going on, opened up and it's going on now it's automatic, right? It plays it like from one to another and it's just up there and I'm like doing other stuff because I'm with my kids. Doesn't mean I'm interested. But in the past, I know that in the past, the algorithm was about comments and likes.
Yeah.
Because that's where it reflects that people actually think that it's worthworthwhile I'm going to take that extra step and actually comment on it. But this is why Instagram right now is just for me, it's not a very good way of sharing right now.
No, it's so hard.
I don't think it's going to change.
Will there ever be a platform where Instagram used to be back in the day?
Yeah.
That will be the interesting questions. And how many people will want to go back to that time?
I think I always say this on like almost every episode, but like the episode that we talked about Pinterest, like you guys cannot sleep on Pinterest because I started committing to Pinterest like maybe since that episode. I think I was just talking about how, I've been getting a little serious on Pinterest, actually posting my stuff like for business. And it was honestly a little bit like I wasn't like believing in it still. Like I was just trying it out. But it's like my number one or my number two on my analytics. So if you are a business, but even if you're not a business, like even if you're a creator and you have like a blog or you have an Instagram, it will go somewhere. So as long as you have a link that you are taking your viewers, you can actually do really well. And I'm getting views on things that I've posted like a long time ago. And it takes the customers to my website. So I'm like, I don't even try on Pinterest. It's still my least like priority. I just like repost on there. So YouTube is my number one, but I think it's because YouTube, like underneath the video, it actually has clickable links. Whereas Instagram, you could only have clickable links on your story. And even then they may or may not want to go into a browser to look for your stuff or whatever. But YouTube, it's like an actual, like you're on a browser and then it'll take you to your link. And then Pinterest is my number two. And it's my weakest platform too. I don't necessarily get partnerships on Pinterest or anything like that. I have the least amount of followers on there, but it's my number two on the list or number one. Sometimes it beats my YouTube channel if I haven't updated.
Sarah, you're going to love this. So I met someone at Kajabi conference and his wife works for Pinterest. When I heard that, my ears perked up like, can I get your wife on my podcast to talk about it? So I'm emailing and I'm following up on this and hopefully we will get an expert from Pinterest to come in and talk about why you should be using Pinterest. What are the best ways to use Pinterest? And I think it's
and it's not
great.
that complicated. The only thing I did was I literally just reposted my stuff and I just linked my website.
Sure.
Get a plugin. There's a plugin that you put on your website that will make it super easy.
Yeah, I have that plugin on there.
The only caveat is that as an artist, when you're on Pinterest, you do have to be prepared that your images will be lost and will not go back. So you gotta, but as an artist though, that's tough, especially if you're selling your artwork. Let's say it's a photo of your print, your photo of an original artwork, especially, and I'm talking about more traditional artists here. It's tough. It's a tough sell. Like I haven't pinned any of my prints on Pinterest because it's just too easy for people to reproduce it and to lose where the original owner is. So for tutorials, I think they're great. They're so awesome. I pinned mine like 8 years ago. They snowball, right? It's crazy. You don't do anything about it. But for original art, I think they're a bit of a caveat. I've seen people's work on Pinterest who I know whose work it is, but then I click on it and it goes nowhere.
And it's not.
And it's not, there's no artist attribution, nothing. And that as an artist can be a bit of a So make sure that the images that you use are not high quality ones, right? Make sure they're 72 DPI. Make sure that they're maximum like 2000 pixels wide so that people can't reproduce them. But it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But just know that I think if it's something that you really, oh my God, I'm selling it, an image that I'm selling that you want to consider. Do you want that image all over the World Wide Web? You might, because that might make it more popular. But it doesn't help if people don't know where it originally came from.
And that is going to happen even on Instagram.
Yes.
I didn't realize that you could download videos and repost it as if it's yours.
Yeah.
And
Well, you gotta
automated for me. I didn't know that. I never clicked on it. So it was automatically turned on when they updated it. And then I had to personally go back and turn it off if I didn't want that.
It's under your settings on Instagram. If you go to your settings and you go down to, turn it off.
When you use it on TikTok, they actually have your username in the beginning of the video. Or at the end. So if you did repost it, although you could totally edit it out, I think it does have a logo or like a thing on the side that would say your username on there. But I didn't realize Instagram did that. And they were like, you allowed the remix or you allowed the download. I was like, yeah, but you still need to
tell me about it, right?
I was like, you still need permission. And I was like, I have to report you then because this is, and it didn't make it seem like it was my video. They made it sound, we make this. So if you want it, let me know kind of thing. And I was like,
you put all this effort to make a great video, to make it sound great. And then other people just comes in and grab it and use it as their own.
Yeah.
It seems so sad that there are people like that will do that. Doesn't make
maybe that's why you have to do voiceovers because it's your voice.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Sarah, for this great tip. And I'm definitely going to be looking to see if I can get a Rode wireless mic because I've been eyeing that and just to know that you love using it or when you have it charged, that you do love it. Okay, so quick life hack. Let's focus it on tech gadgets real quick since we're talking about techie stuff or Instagram. Do you guys have anything that you want to share?
I need to think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will give you one. So for Instagram, right now in October of 2024, they are pushing for short little videos. And so I was talking to this woman, her name's Nicole. She's a big star on Instagram. She said that her videos are only 5 seconds long. And the thing that she knows that gets pushed out there is text on your video. And I think, why would I want to put text on my video? And she says, if you don't want that, you can put a cover sheet that doesn't have the text from there to get around that. But when people are watching it, because a lot of time people are not reading the post anymore, they just want to see the video. And so when you have relevant text on there, that's where people are reading it and staying a little bit longer. So put text on your video. And if you don't like that, put a cover sheet on it. So when people are looking through your post or your feed, that they won't see that.
Yeah. And I actually just figured out how to do captions on Premiere. And it's pretty easy.
Really? It is.
I figured it out.
It is.
So
but
easy.
it's so
I never had to.
But it's so time consuming to edit though. It's like editing, it doubles my editing because I edit my videos with short videos, not a big deal, but my actual like tutorial videos, because yes, they're great, but at the same time, they're not great. And it might be because, but yeah, that's cool.
Oh, you guys, drop your video over to Descript. I find Descript does a much better job doing transcripts than Premiere. And then I take that transcript and I dump it into the video in Premiere. And it's so much easier and it syncs up really well.
I want to say my hack, I guess it's not really a hack, but like what I've learned from the partnerships that I have been getting, a lot of them do request that your face is in it within the couple seconds or something. I think they say within 3 seconds if you're in it in some way, if you are cutting like your face, like your view is like afar and seeing you cut. So it has a little bit of a personal aspect to it instead of, I know a lot of us like to just do hand only top view kind of thing, but that's what they're asking for. They say that's what trends or that's what goes viral or there's a little bit of that personal feeling to it. So people like it. I don't know. And then another one that they ask for is they want, if you do a voiceover, they want a little bit of a story that goes along to it, not just, cut this and do that and use this paper, but it's more, I was walking the other day and I found some cute flowers and I wanted to make it. And this is why I started making this flower or whatever, right? There's a little bit of that. Because honestly, in 15 seconds, what kind of voiceover tutorial are you going to give them? You're not, right? So a lot of the partnerships that I do get, I guess they're partnering with me to really actually just sell their products. So they don't care about what I'm teaching you how to make. They don't care if I even teach you anything, really. They just want to showcase their product. So, but I do believe in the fact that like in 15 seconds, what are you going to teach them? So if you are going to put a video out there, then I would say the story like voiceover and your face somewhere in the first 3 seconds sounds good enough. You don't have to be like, hi, I'm here. Like, just like from afar, you're cutting and then zoom back into your hands.
You gotta find like the perfect angle.
Yeah, far away is actually fine because
that is true.
Yes.
We see any details.
Yeah.
Yes. How about you, Jessie? What hack do you have to share with us?
I suppose this isn't a hack, but it's what part of my process that I've integrated into my video editing is actually using Handbrake after editing my videos. And I never did that before because I was like, oh, what's the point? It's another step of after my editing's done, like, why do I need to compress the video? But I do find that it is much easier to upload. And my internet is okay. Like it's fast enough to do lives and whatnot. But we don't upload a lot, right? We always look at the download speed when we're signing up for our internet plans. So upload is rarely like top priority.
Unless you're a creator.
Unless you're a creator and you're uploading a lot of videos and videos that are 2 gigs, 3 gigs.
Yeah.
And even though they might not be, so like a lot of the videos on Adobe Premiere, if you have a lot of different transitions or there's a lot of cuts or there's a lot of different things in the video, then it adds to the size of and so when I can only upload 2 gigs max, it becomes a problem because I don't want my videos all to be like 10 minutes long and I have part 1, part 2, part 3 of one single step. So I've been using Handbrake and it significantly reduces any issues I have uploading. Because sometimes you never know. You're like uploading overnight. And if it takes an hour for you to upload one video, you never know what might happen in that hour. Your internet connection might fluctuate and then something happens, it pops out, and then you wake up in the morning and you're like, what happened? I was trying to upload like 10 videos.
That has happened to me.
Yeah, exactly. And it has to be like the day that you're releasing the course, right? So my process now, it's ridiculous. My process now is I'll have one computer when I'm editing everything. I save it onto my iCloud drive. And then with my laptop, I use my Handbrake to compress the videos that I have on iCloud and I upload it on that laptop. So that way I'm not using all the RAM on my desktop that I'm editing and saving things. And that's not going to interfere with Handbrake or uploading. So essentially I use 2 computers and then one computer is Handbrake on it. But yeah, I found the Handbrake ones like significantly compress the video size and they upload in 5 minutes, like really quick.
That's amazing.
Which is a huge,
tell us where they can get that.
Handbrake is a free software. So if it tells you have to pay for it, that's not the right one. Just Google Handbrake. Sorry, I don't know I can actually look it up, but it's a free software. So that's what's important. It's an open source video transcoder. So handbrake.fr. And it can compress any video. So it doesn't have to be for online courses, but anything that's really big that you have to upload, let's say, onto even Instagram. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but my Facebook creator, like it just keeps on not uploading properly. It's 5%. It's stuck there. You can use Handbrake to compress it and it'll be so much easier. It doesn't take too long on Handbrake, but it's something that you can do like in the background, wait for it to compress. And then when you actually have to upload it, it's very quick. So yeah, I highly recommend.
And it doesn't minimize the quality of it. It's just compressing it so that you can upload it faster. Okay. Yeah. That's so interesting. Yeah, it takes me an hour to upload my YouTube videos because they are in 4K. So
exactly. Something like that would be a really big video. And some social media platforms or even my learning management platform doesn't allow for any videos bigger than a certain amount. Right. So that would be a way to get around it.
You could do that in Adobe, right? When you export, there's a little... Yeah, you compress it that way. So why is that better? Why is Handbrake better?
But when you compress it that way, though, it does change the bit rate of it. So it changes the quality of it. So you don't, that's not what you want. But Handbrake doesn't do that. It compresses the file. It's an open source coder.
You win the life hack this week for sure.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Well, take a look at
learning something new all the time here.
Look at it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I hope you learned a lot. I definitely learned a lot in this episode. Anyway, we'll catch you next week.
Bye. Bye, guys.